or restart like the intro? Since no one could hear. We are.
I don't want to
So
restart.
sorry for the technical difficulties, but basically,
First time, sorry guys.
yeah. But this is MTV, Mallie TV, where we would be oh, we okay, but we will be talking about everything dodgeball, and yeah. So
Yeah.
should we repeat like what we
Watch
talked about in lockdown?
Watch the recording if you want to know what we talked about for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, what we have been doing in lockdown. But I think it's late enough, and right now we would like to present our guests, Chris and Cherie. Let's welcome them. Ooh, bog
Welcome
emotes.
guys. Thank you so much
Bog
for joining
emotes.
us.
Thank you so
Nice to have you
much.
guys.
Hello, everyone.
What have you guys been up to since we are out of lockdown now? Anything exciting?
Can't say that there has been, though we did play volleyball yesterday, and then we got to get in a bit of a throw for about 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And my body really hurts, so I'm a bit afraid of returning to dodgeball.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's like been pretty sore. I know for myself, like I haven't been doing like much exercise. Should go to online training. But yeah. Oh no, Chris.
It's a you problem, Regine.
I don't miss those alligator crawls. Yeah.
Soon, very soon, it will be back. Just a little icebreaker for everyone. What do you love about dodgeball? We'll start with Cherie.
Hey! Oh, what do I love about dodgeball? I think for me now, I've very much just moved into like a mum slash grandma phase where I just enjoy watching our little baby Monash players grow up. Obviously, I have my own goals and whatever as a player, but I think the thing that keeps me going is watching other people improve and watching people bond in our club. I think that's my favorite part now.
Yeah. Definitely. I remember when I first started dodgeball, Cherie was just being so welcoming, and she was like, "Yeah, you can do it." And then and she told me like this concept. She was like, "Oh, when you join dodgeball, you start off like this, but you can see yourself go like from here to here like instantly in a day."
Instantly in a day.
In a day.
Not in a day, but like
What false information are you spreading?
maybe not in a day.
You're gonna have to show me your file note for this conversation. I don't know.
Oh, you're getting lawyered up on.
But basically it was just like we will improve really quickly, and like that was when I first started 2 years ago, and I reckon it's the same with all our newer players as well, which is very exciting to watch.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Right, you, Chris, what do you love about dodgeball?
I'm probably in a very similar boat as I am the coach, so I don't know how you pulled this one out, being a team
Make him go
organizer.
first because he's just gonna copy my answers.
Maybe if I had to pick something else though, probably just the intensity of this sport as a player. Is really good. Lots of I guess quick bursts of action is I guess what makes it fun. So yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How are you two?
I'll go first. I think for me, I love the concept of teamwork. How you really need to work as a team, and then you can really see the teams whether they work well as a team or not, and then it really shows on court like how well they gel together, whether they're communicating or not, and then you kind of like can also use these skills to carry on into like I guess your everyday life skills, whether you're working or like doing uni assignments or whatever. Yeah, really focus on like teamwork really helps, whether it's on court or off court. Yeah, that's what I love about dodgeball.
Yeah, my reasons for not as no was Clyde. I just like getting people out and then this satisfaction.
You know what? That's perfectly
because I'm really
legitimate.
bad.
Are
But
you
because
violent, right, Regine?
As Ashley would say, it's the only sport that the whole aim is to hit people with the ball.
I'm glad Regine has a legal avenue to get rid of her internalized anger or whatever that is.
Technically, it's technically not my favorite. Wink, wink. No, I'm joking. But just because I started out not really having a lot of arm strength as well. So I think for me, getting someone out is like a big achievement. I think I'm doing like quite a bit, and you can see like it's not like any other sport where like you feel like you're not really doing anything. It's like every move or action that you take, even when you fake, even when you throw the ball, it affects the game. Or yeah, if you get one person out, there's like 1 out of 5 players gone. So I think that's like pretty like good. Or it makes me feel like I'm doing a lot. So that's what I like about dodgeball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's nice to hear. Chat, if you want to tell us about what you love about dodgeball, that would be great as well. So on to the next segment. So everyone knows that we do spend a lot of time playing dodgeball, but what about our lives outside of dodgeball? We'll start with Regine. So what do you do besides playing dodgeball?
Well, for me, currently I'm just working, honestly. So I work at this in the city with this like financial advisory firm. Well, it was an internship for, and then they hired me on for as a casual right now. So I just been working. Oh, thanks you. Yeah, but I just been working, hanging out with friends, yeah, and all that sorts. And I'm going to a pole day next week, which I'm pretty excited for. So a lot of nature and hiking. Yeah. Well, how about yeah, I'm really excited for it because it's been some time since we got out, since because of the lockdowns and everything. So it'll be great. Yeah. How about you, Chris? See, now I'm not starting from Cherie.
I mean, Cherie definitely can't copy me for this one, so it doesn't really matter. I definitely can't copy her either.
Fair enough.
Outside of dodgeball, there's not much. No, I guess as we talked about before, I really enjoy volleyball as well. Um, so that's probably kind of my next maybe sporting passion, and then I guess besides that, just generally like getting outside anyway. Pretty much as you were saying. Maybe that's just been a bit, I guess, because of lockdown. I feel like that because generally speaking, I also do just like to hide inside, become a hermit, and just play games, as a lot of people would know already. Yep, that's probably about it.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Cherie? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, I also work full time.
True.
Part of the
Work.
part of the old dogs crew in Mallie, the ones that have graduated.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Old
where you
dogs,
going with
Clyde.
this?
You threw Clyde under the bus there. What? Dragged him along with you, maybe. I guess
It's alright, Clyde. It's a big life achievement. Be proud of it. Don't worry.
it's okay. I'm almost there.
Um,
Matt in the chat saying ouch, but really he's also there.
yeah, Matt, you're part of the Old Dogs Club. What are you talking about? I'm a baby lawyer, so I'm going to be a real lawyer in December, which is very exciting. What else do I do with my life? I've got a hobby recently, which is baking mantou, and I tried to make.
What's Mantao for those who don't know?
They're like the
Sure, fine.
Asian. I will the Chinese like steam buns. And I saw on the internet like people make really cute ones. They make them like they look like lions. I saw hedgehogs and pigs, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna make some real cute like mantou things, fill them with stuff. And I tried making pigs, and they kind of like they don't look. Oh god, this is not gonna work. Can you see this?
Oh, you can kind of see it. Oh, yeah, it's like green. Oh, that's so cute.
I mean, it's really not Regine. You don't have to be polite. They look like the pigs from Angry Birds, except worse, which is
Pretty
somehow
much
very
the
bad.
pigs from Angry Birds, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're green as well.
So that's my hobby at the moment. other than that, I just hang out with my dog. I still play a lot of video games, which is not very good because, you know, I don't sleep as much as I should, but that's sort of all I do with my
Yeah.
life at the moment.
I feel like in lockdown, like playing video games is like the only way to go. Like, what else can you do?
Yeah.
Like, other than go out to the parks. But like, yeah, video games are like super good outlet, and it's a good way to spend time with friends as well.
Yeah, it's just that you lose track of time so easily, and then like you lose one game and you're like, I'll play another, and then somehow it's
Ooh,
like
the next one.
2 o'clock in the
Don't you
morning,
worry.
and you're like,
Yeah, how's your Valorant skills? What rank are you?
Bad.
Both of you.
I'm bad,
It's okay, we're both bad.
but I
That's fine.
embrace being bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
What about
Yeah,
you?
how about you, Clay? Yeah.
Well, I'm also working full time.
You're an old dog.
For those who are still studying, please continue studying because full-time life is a struggle. Like Monday to Friday, you work, and then the weekend comes, and you're just like, that's it. I only get 2 days off after working 5 days, and then
It's like,
it's a
yeah,
constant grind.
yeah, it's like
Unless
I'm
you
too
love what
tired.
you do. If you love what you do, then you're not actually working then, because it's very cliche, but like if you love what you do, then you're not actually working because you're just doing what you love. But I don't. Oh, actually, I'm learning a lot, but I probably won't stay in my role for long because I'm basically call center for people's home loans at NAB. If you do have a home loan with NAB, which I hope none of you do because you're all too young, give me a call and I'll give you some tips. But other than that, what I do outside of dodgeball, I play volleyball as well, but not as good as Chris. He once filled in for my team and he carried. And then we're just like, oh, we need this guy, but he's too
Like
busy.
Chris,
He's
yeah, Chris
doing-
carries in every sport that he plays.
Uh,
But I haven't seen a sport that he played that he
his
hasn't
back,
carried.
he's got a like hunchback because like he's been carrying everyone so much.
Yeah,
He can't spread
that's
his
true.
back
hope
anymore.
not.
Right. Let's read out some of the chat. So Matt has said the best, I reckon the best part about dodgeball is seeing Chris. So this, and I say, yeah, a little woo for you.
Isn't it the best part?
Uh,
No?
Just you. And he also said, like, Cherie, that's zombie pigs. Little
Thanks
green
for the
pigs.
support, man.
Honestly, they're really well done. Like, I never knew mantou could be like made into shapes or like animals because I've only seen them on macaroons and that's about it. Yeah.
I think you can get
So
them at
yeah.
Yum Cha. Like if mine, like if you're actually good at it, you could get people to pay you money for your animal steamed bread.
Really?
But evidently, I don't think anyone would buy mine. I'd probably have to pay to get rid of them.
Yeah, it's a side hustle now. You can start a mantou side business and then you just bring them to MUDA. It's just selling like one for $2.
Yeah, the new video lunch, new and improved.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt said, is a thought that counts. I'm sure they taste great. Yeah, I am.
They were
100%
pretty good. They were filled with what? Black sesame paste, yeah.
Ooh, it's yum.
Thought you were
Okay.
gonna say filled with sweat, blood, and tears.
True. Anyway, so moving on. So we want to ask, like, so what was life before you guys discovered dodgeball? Or like, what sports did you play? What did you do in your free time? Because I know now you spend a lot of time with dodgeball. So what do you guys do before?
What did you do before dodgeball?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh,
It's been that
right.
long.
I thought you missed it.
What did I do before dodgeball? Well, during my time at uni, I always basically worked 2 or 3 jobs. And I think before dodgeball, I was just working a lot, basically. I was really involved in uni clubs and things, which was really good for learning how to run a good uni club. So Chris and I, the year before we started dodgeball, the year of? I don't remember. 2017, we were in the Taekwondo club, and that gave us a really, really good foundation for starting MUDA, and we did that quite a bit that year.
It was the year of
2017.
the year of
Yeah.
making it,
2018.
or the year before? It was the year. I think it was the same year.
2018.
It's so long ago,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I just used to work a lot.
But we
That's
we
it.
based it on a lot of our kind of values and structure like around that.
Yeah, MUDA is like a super well-run club, and like I mean, it's self-explanatory with all the awards that we have, being like the best sporting club for how many years now? I think like
Or
best
some
sporting always
form
been
of best club for 3 years now, is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and we only started in what 2018.
Yeah, actually
And
running, we started in 2018.
yeah, which is absolutely crazy. So every year since we started, we have got gained an award.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's a lot of the credit is due to you, Chris and Cherie, which provided a lot of structure and a lot of like programs for us to do. Yeah, and really good values in the club. Mhm. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I think
Um,
the biggest thing and the craziest thing is like all the people that were willing to support the dodgeball club and like really get involved. I think that's what really catapulted us. In our first year, it was people like Elaine, like bringing in so many new players to expose them to the sport. Because there's like, I mean, if you look at the original dodgeball committee, we're all kind of like quiet, awkward, not very social people. So we had so many people come into the club and like help pull people in. And Regina, I know you've done this a lot as well. You've brought a lot of your friends in, and I think that's what really like made dodgeball. All I can think of right now is dodgeball to the moon. Sorry.
Dogecoin to the moon.
No.
I mean, crypto's doing well, but yeah, yeah, Dodgeball's honestly been so fun, and it's been so fulfilling for someone's uni life as well. Because I think before I ever joined Dodgeball, like uni is just like you go to uni, you study, and you kind of go home after. But because of a club, and I'm sure this works, or this is represented in like a lot of our younger members, or a lot of not our younger members, but a lot of our members in general, that like a lot of friendships and good camaraderie was made in Dodgeball. Yeah. And it's definitely friendships that will bring into like 50 years into the future. Hopefully, like in 50 years, Monash will be like, oh yeah, Dodgeball will be winning an award. Till then, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after COVID, I think finding a community on campus is going to be so important because you're not necessarily going to get that out of having in-person tutorials anymore, or in-person classes. So yeah, hopefully, Dodgeball is one of those places that if a first year falls in, like this can be their home for the rest of their uni life and beyond. Because it makes me really sad that like some uni students might not get that experience anymore because I guess
definitely.
on campus is not really a
Yeah.
thing at the moment.
Dodgeball does really provide a great community, and everyone's so supportive of each other and so opening as well. Like,
Because it's new
yeah,
to
so
everyone.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone's kind of in the same position.
Mhm.
Yeah, which I think is kind of what really defines the sport or the community at the moment, where everyone's just coming in. Sorry, I was just reading the chat as it's coming in as well. But yeah, where everyone's new coming in and everyone kind of understands that everyone else is in the same boat, so it's kind of easier to connect that way.
Definitely. Mimi has said in chat, Cherie did Taekwondo. Okay, sorry. Chris and Cherie got the top spot on my list now. And Matt said, social skills non-existent after COVID. No worries, we got you.
So there's a bit of a backstory behind this comment from Mimi.
Is this your scariest person in MUDA, Mimi? Because if it is, I'm going to tell you something.
No, we don't need to say anything. We don't need to say anything.
Mimi, hear me
Cherie's
out.
top of the list by far. Cherie's.
I did Taekwondo, but so did Chris. And Chris won a bronze medal in sparring, a silver medal in sparring,
Against some guy who's
and
been
kicked
in
some guy's head.
Okay.
Whatever.
A guy who's been in yellow for like 2 years, apparently. It was very good.
He kicked some dude's head, Mimi. So if you're going to rank us,
the whole point
I
is to
think-
kick the head. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just trying to have a good time. I didn't kick anyone
I
in the head.
reckon
Well, that's why you
I'm just
lost.
gonna stay away. we're just gonna continue to stay away from from Chris and Cherie.
Don't
Just
make it
block our
bad.
heads. Yeah, Mimi's gonna bring her helmet into dodgeball and be like, oh yeah.
Chris be like,
I mean,
she's
it is
gonna
a
talk. Chris
taekwondo
be like,
helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, what did you yeah, what did you do before dodgeball
Before
as well?
dodgeball, like
Mhm.
actually nothing except maybe like play video games. Oh, and tennis. I guess it was my biggest other sport. But yeah, like really like before dodgeball, like in my first year, unfortunately I like did nothing. Um, and then I was fortunate
Big
enough
brain.
to like say join NRC. I think that was probably one of the um yeah bigger things I joined uh, initially. So
Yeah.
that was a good kind of experience, and I think we have brought a lot of stuff from there as well
And
over to MUDA.
yeah.
Um,
For the viewers who don't know, NRC is
oh yeah, true.
non-residential colleges, which is another club that's in, oh, not really a club, but more of a community in Monash, where basically they run events or for people who don't live on campus. Oh, And it's like really fun events and like it's really well structured and like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, they're a
And
very general club where
mm,
it's more about the community, and then you do you have some events like here and or not even here and there, like almost every week kind of thing. There'll be something to do. Um, yeah,
yeah,
so
so
I mean, I'm sure a lot of us would highly recommend that. We do have quite a few people from NRC actually around the dodgeball community. But yeah, so yeah, besides that, yeah, as I mentioned, tennis was probably kind of the main thing
mhm,
I was doing. Yeah,
yeah.
so
Among all of the sports you have done so far, what do you think is your favorite one?
volleyball.
Obviously, I was
Well,
gonna say. I
Not
thought you were gonna say
not
obviously
not
dodgeball.
dodgeball.
I was like, wait, if there's anything else, it's the wrong club.
Oh, sorry, what are you talking? Sorry, I was still in the mindset of before.
Uh,
Okay.
but
So
right now.
yeah, right now, yeah, dodgeball, but I still think that volleyball is a better team sport.
Mm, that's true. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like with the volleyball, you like, I don't know. It's very like you have to keep the ball in the air, and everyone does a part in that. Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot more coordination stuff.
Sorry.
Bless you. Mhm. Yeah,
Captured
coordination.
forever. Yay. But yeah, there's a lot more coordination like required, as in within the team.
Hmm.
And I guess for that reason, you also can't just have one person who will win the game for you. It is
Definitely.
still very like if you have someone good, obviously like you're way more likely to win, but it can't just be one person for the
Mm,
most part. And I think
true.
on that front, like it's a really good team sport. But yeah, obviously I enjoy playing dodgeball the most. I spend so much
Yeah,
time doing it. Yeah, if it wasn't, I wouldn't spend so much time.
that's very true. Cherie, did you have a favorite sport for dodgeball?
Before dodgeball, probably swimming. That's what I grew up doing, and that's what I sort of enjoyed the most out of all the things that I tried. And I think, in some ways, I like if I could only if I could only do one sport,
I felt it building up, so I
Terror
was like,
attack.
oh, may as well make it a good one.
if I could
It's a
only do
terror
one
attack.
sport for the rest of my life, I think I would choose swimming. Just
Mhm.
because I just love being in the water, and I love I don't know, just like playing around with like how you're moving in the water.
Mhm.
But the only thing is like if you do swimming for like fun, you have to actually try, otherwise you drown. Whereas like
Yeah.
in dodgeball, sometimes if you get bored for a bit, you can just sort of stand there and you get hit, but it's okay. But like if I go swimming, I have to try and swim or I die. And sometimes I'm just not
You can
ready
do
for
the
that.
little
You can just
doggy paddle or
you
cycling underneath the water, but
you
it
can
gets so
just be in the
tiring.
kid pool and just stand up and be like, yeah, I'm taking a break, guys.
Yeah, sometimes I just float up like a starfish. Like I used to
Yeah.
teach kids and I used to grab them and like float them as starfish, and sometimes I do
I
that.
actually can't float like that.
That's
Really?
unfortunate,
Pure
isn't it?
muscle is no fat.
It's just
Exactly.
I
too
don't think you would be
heavy.
able to float
It's
like that,
muscle.
Clyde.
I float like a balloon. I mean, not a balloon. I float like a
Floats
line.
like a butterfly, sting
Okay,
like a
line.
bee.
Float like a
Yeah.
balloon. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, Clyde, you want to lead us into the next segment?
Yeah. Okay. So since we did talk about a lot about how we discovered dodgeball, now I just want to ask you how did we get into dodgeball? Like, what made it so attractive to you guys that this is the sport that this is a sport I'm gonna play for the rest of my life, or not the rest of my life, but for a long run.
Um, Honestly, I didn't like that dodgeball that much in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, because I was bad. Like every ball I threw, Clyde would catch it on Fridays from 12 to 2. He would catch my balls. I'm like, Clyde, this sucks. And then
Was it Clyde or Cyril?
I didn't even know who you
both of
were.
them, everyone.
That Thanos name, it's like I don't even know who you are.
I couldn't hit anyone. I was like, what's the point? Like, I feel like a liability.
Mm.
And it was very much an accident that I ended up doing it because the first year we had a competitive team. I knew the guy that was running it. I just came along to try out, and there weren't a lot of girls around. And I made the team, and we went to Queensland. And that guy graduated, and he was like, "Do you want to take over my role? Because you were super organized, and you paid for your flights and everything on time. You can probably take care of this." And
Bruh, imagine if that's all it took to be organized. Just paying
Just
for something on time. My goodness.
Just
I
stay
was a
on
big
time.
part of it.
If our team is like that right now, like
And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm pretty organized and, I'm happy to try. And so I was kind of stuck to dodgeball, but I sucked at it. Like, I was very bad at it. So, like, the next year I went, I was on a team, but I didn't really play much because I was like, I don't want to be a liability. I'll just organize the team. And it wasn't really until, let me think, when did I start actually liking it?
the year after that.
Probably when I started, like, yeah, VDL, on my first year when I played with Nick on Demons, that I was like, okay, this is a little more fun. I'm like starting to make friends. I started playing social leagues and it was a little bit better. But it wasn't until I made those friendships that I was actually really enjoying it because I feel like when you are just throwing catches and being bad at the sport and there's no one there to say it's okay or like don't worry about it, you just kind of feel bad the whole time.
Yeah, man. I know that feeling.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just that every ball that was me during the Gen D Thursday session. So for the chat who don't know, Gen D has a session on Thursdays where basically it's more professional than our Wednesday session. But in my case, it was almost the same as like our Sunday session because Chris was playing, Ashley was playing, and a lot of the top players from Melbourne was playing. So every ball that I threw, people would just catch it. And I would think like, oh, that ball is really good. And like I see Ainsley just like reaching down and catching my ball with one hand. I'm just like, wow. Okay. Yeah, so it's a little bit disheartening at first, I would say, because when you're just throwing catches and you're just bad. But as you keep on playing, keep on improving, and sometimes you think it's not going to hit the other person, but it actually hits the other person and they're out. Like that satisfaction is pretty incredible, and like I think it makes everything worth it. Like after so long of being bad.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
agree. I had a similar experience. Like one of my first social league games, Chris brought me to some random ass place, and I threw a ball at Dezo, and I was like, "Damn, look at this ball go!" And Dezo goes like this, and he just stops it like that. I'm like, "Oh," and it wasn't very
remember this.
fun. It was some league we've never been back to. It's the same day someone broke their arm throwing. I don't know if you remember. But yeah, it was a very traumatic introduction to
Do you
social
remember where
dodgeball.
this was?
No.
Who
Yeah, that's
were we
not.
playing with? Oh, I actually don't remember this.
Oh, I remember the first time I played dodgeball, or the first time I turned MUDA casual. Ashley hit me in the face, though.
So Regine, you're a
Oh,
ball
and it
magnet,
was
like
Yeah, your face is.
back then it was now I'm still a ball magnet, but yeah. So I remember it was like we finished up the whole session, and like before that, people were telling me, "Oh, don't get hit in the face, don't get hit in the face," and I was like, "Yeah." For the whole entire session, I didn't get hit in the face once. It was great. So as I was walking out, right, like in the corner of my eye, I just see a ball coming towards me, and I just look at it. So at the last minute when I was walking out, and then Ash was like, "Oh no, sorry." But yeah, that's pretty funny. Uh, yeah. So yeah, Chris, how did you get into dodgeball since? Yeah.
Well, pretty much we can blame Ashley. I've known Ashley since I was a kid, since primary school. And then I just saw him at the store at orientation week with Matt and his broken arm.
I'd
And
broken
then
arm?
since then,
Oh.
that's it. I've been here. I also used to have another friend who played dodgeball. His name is also Chris. And we joined because in that year the competition was in Queensland, or was in at Gold Coast, and like obviously being dodgeball, there is a chance we could make it, right? Because like if we go to play
Yeah.
soccer or something, like there'll be other people who are definitely way better than us. So yeah, I guess that also kind of consolidated going for that.
So you were just a Jaffe and you were like, I want to go to uni games, but I'm not good at any sports, so I guess I'll
No, I
try
was
to go
considering going for
dodgeball.
volleyball as well.
Okay.
I
Very true.
almost tried for volleyball as well because they were actually separate. They were separate. Well, they are still separate competitions because volleyball is part of the main circuit, and dodgeball was actually part of a different competition called Uni Battle, which is what's the main one? What was it called? Uni Games, kind of like Olympic Games, so Uni Games. So yeah, theoretically I could have gone for both, but
No. I reckon you were just looking for a party. You want to tell everyone how you threw up in the
yeah, that's
accommodation.
totally me.
This is a brand new Chris that you guys haven't heard of. But I was the TO that year, and it was my first year. And then apparently one of the nights, Chris threw up on the floor, but he was a really great person. He cleaned it up.
It was
and
the
then,
night before we left.
Yeah, the next day someone was like, "Yeah, you know, Chris, he munted on the floor, but he cleaned it, so it's okay." And I was like,
Cleaned it while you were
"Let's
drunk.
just go back to Melbourne."
So he threw up and he cleaned it while he was drunk.
I guess so.
I wasn't actually that intoxicated. I think it's just because like my body really doesn't like any of those kind of things. Like
Yeah, fair enough.
we really didn't drink that much.
I have no idea. I don't drink. But now MUDA is a dry club, and you all know why. Our boyfriend.
That is not why.
The
We don't
That
like
is
it.
definitely not why.
I don't know. I heard of some bad like MUDA munting stories across like the 2 years I've been here.
They're not
So-
MUDA munting stories. They're people from MUDA munting at non-MUDA affiliated events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
wholesome
The
group. We don't.
infamous volcano noodles. Oh,
You're gonna tell us,
it's been
how
put in the chat. Here we go.
Yeah, there's also the stairs in Sydney, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
That was
It's
messed
just
up.
a waterfall. Just a waterfall of monks coming up.
Calling people out now.
Well, I mean, I tried as hard as I can to not say any names. So if it's not, oh my god, our research is fucking just tearing into everyone now.
What's in the family? Oh my god.
Gavin really tearing everyone apart. Yeah.
Gavin's
that's
sitting
great.
here happy, saying like, "I've never had a sip in my life."
Nah, man, I have pictures of him being like red, like absolutely red, and like I think well, I wasn't there, but like he was telling me he was munting over Christmas or something, and he couldn't stop. Yeah. So, moving on. So, what was dodgeball like before MUDA? So, Was there any like structure or clubs or BBL thing? Yeah, how was it like?
Cherie is
Before.
probably the best to answer this.
Dodgeball before MUDA. I mean, Dodgeball still existed in Victoria, and they had, like, if you Google it, I mean, if you YouTube it, they have like pretty like scuff looking 2016 no strat Dodgeball VDL games.
When was Worlds in Melbourne? Was that before we started?
20 some
2016.
I think it may have been the year before we
Clyde
started.
2017.
Yeah, the year before we started.
16.
Yeah, so it was a thing. But in at Monash, there was this group called Monash University Dodgeball Group, and we called ourselves Mudge. And we would play dodgeball on Fridays from 12 to 2, and sometimes there would be like 5 people. Our balls were the same balls that we had for like 2 years. They were all like taped up or had weird holes in them. And yeah, Clyde would just go there, go beast mode on everyone. He'd like smack everyone and catch everyone, and it was really just traumatic. Clyde was a bully back in Mudge
Oh,
days.
It
Oh,
was
Clyde.
just bad
Gosh,
balls,
Clyde.
and no one knew how to throw.
Or bad balls and bad players. Are you talking about that? Huh?
And Ashley's there just
Clyde, we-
killing me, and I was like, bro, I don't even know who you are. Why are you killing me?
That sounds
that's,
like
that's what you did to Cherie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, now she just kills me left, right, center, so she got her revenge.
Oh yeah. I remember one time,
Yeah.
Clyde, we were on the same team and a ball hit you and I like fell on the floor to pick it up, to catch it, and you were like, thanks, Cherie, nice save. And I was like, wow, Clyde, thank you. Clyde, that made me feel so happy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was like,
was
damn,
this?
Clyde, the dodgeball god, gave me a compliment. It was
Oh,
very
wow,
good for my
Clyde.
self-esteem. Thank you, Clyde.
That's what
don't
that's what
remember.
happens when Chris comes to me in training. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty decent with like the pronate and everything." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thank you, Chris." Oh,
He's like a
wow.
thumbs up, and I was like,
The dodgeball god
I'm
has
the king
blessed
of the
me.
world.
Oh, sorry, Clyde.
He's like watching me through, and he's like, nice. And then I was like, I feel I can do anything now. And then
Yeah. Like maybe I am good at dodgeball. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
it
So
was very bad though. When 'cause when I first
Munch.
joined, oh, like my Jeffy, yeah, I was like, dodgeball. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this was fun in primary school. Then it was just Ashley and Simran. I'm just sitting at the store, and he's like, you want to play? I was like, yeah. And he just gave me a flyer. He's like, on Friday, and I was like, okay. And then it was very bad. There was balls was terrible, and then there was like 10, maybe 15 max per week. Just the same.
Yeah.
It was the same 10
Yeah.
people, and then I was like, at first I was like, this is fun, and then later I was like, this is kind of boring because it's literally the same people, and then yeah, it was a mess, and then
Yeah.
'cause it was Friday as well, and like people don't come to uni on Friday.
Yeah.
So what made you stay?
Um,
Why you still
I
here?
don't know.
Honestly, don't know why I went to those sessions.
Mm.
Like looking back at it, like
was
if such a
terrible.
session ran currently, it would definitely be like one of those ones. Like, yeah.
I'm surprised Clyde's here, to be honest, because in that year that you went to Queensland, Clyde also tried out for the team.
Made
And
it.
he made the team, and I was like, yeah, I'll put him on the list, and I put him on the team and everything. And he's like, yeah, Cherie, I'm not coming. And I was like, Clyde, what are you?
And now he's a
He messed
TO.
everything up, right? I was like, whatever, this Clyde guy. And then somehow he showed back up again.
And he's here now, so
I'm still here. I'm still here.
but I got a fun question. Who got into dodgeball first, you or your brother?
Me, and then I brought him, and then people were
Ah.
like, "There's 2 of you," and I was like, and then they're like,
That's true. I could like when I first met you guys, I couldn't differentiate as well. I was like, oh, Clyde has a twin. Yeah, I was like,
Clyde is the twin pointing at Cyril. Like my Clyde? Twin? Twin Clyde?
yeah, and then
confusion.
now it's still here, which is it's
Yeah,
mood.
it's great.
Dodgeball at Monash has come a long way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely.
Dodgeball has like a really great retention rate as well. Like a lot of our players have been here for like really long, and a lot of our new players wants to be here for like a long time as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Mhm.
I don't know if we really run long enough to really make that claim yet, Regine.
Okay, fair enough. But like from the vibes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
next year they might split off and create Clayton Corgis and, take half of our player base. Who knows?
Nah, Clayton's already Clayton koalas.
Clayton koalas. It's not even the same letter. I don't understand.
We could go for like coffee corgis
Caulfield Corgi.
and have like a base at Coffee Campus. So we have like MUDA running at Coffee
Oh my
Campus.
gosh.
So if we get that big, hopefully.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there you go, Gavin. If you're still listening.
I mean, it's in the timeline, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. No, there
I
is
mean-
definitely plans to extend the operations, but yeah, we also need to manage what we're capable of, and obviously with lockdown and stuff,
Yeah.
it's been a bit rough.
Yeah, definitely. How are you guys handling lockdown? So like with like training and all. Like have you been keeping up your physicals?
Well, I feel like I was doing a really good job in the beginning of the lockdown. We had these training diaries and I was filling it out. I'm like, look at me, I'm doing like
Oh,
15
Clyde.
I'm like doing 15 sit-ups or something crazy. And then in the past 3 weeks, I have just been a total potato. I haven't done anything, and I'm like, this is the worst time to be not doing anything because we're about to go back.
Slowing down right before we go back.
And I booked a holiday to the
Yeah.
Mornington Peninsula, so I'm going to those hot springs. And I got all of this extra pudge. Not that there's a problem with it, but I'm just like, this is not the
It's-
right time to.
It's like you want to be like your best self for like a trip, right? But then
Yeah,
you're just like,
exactly.
I just feel so bloated and like I don't know, you feel like really heavy. Like
Yeah,
for
I
me,
don't
it's
want to
like
float like a balloon.
yeah, yeah, quite floating like a balloon. Oh, Matt says boil off in the hot spring. Yeah. Apparently that's what people in Japan do. That's why like Japanese people are like really tiny.
Kitty.
Is
I-
they go to hot springs and like I don't know. That's what like
I think it has a lot more to do with the diet there, I might say.
yeah, but it's like diet and also like that as well. Maybe it's just heat. Maybe I just read it online. Fake news.
I mean, I can't imagine that you'd lose much. You'd be losing water weight, like.
True.
We'll find out in 2 weeks. I'll report back to see how boiling off the pudge went.
You weigh yourself before you jump in, and then you weigh yourself afterwards, and see how much you've lost.
All the water
plan.
weight is just like. Ooh. All right, so we should wrap things up now. Does the chat have any questions for our guest, Chris and Cherie? Okay, Arc Resources, muscles are also as hard as rocks because Clyde sinks like a rock. Need an emo
Hello?
for Clyde's ass.
Oh, whoa. Hey guys, let's keep this PG, please. This is a family-friendly show, podcast.
Especially in Mallie shorts. You reckon grey Mallie shorts or black Mallie shorts better on Clyde? Which one? Which one accentuates the
It's
assets?
so debatable. They're both
Probably
so
grey.
bad.
Yeah.
It's like Grace
no Joe.
sweatpants. Do you
Oh,
guys
it
know
depends
Joe?
on what size you got for the Acu one, I reckon. But the Mally's one, my goodness.
Yeah, I think I got a small, but it's pretty tiny on me.
Yeah,
but it's
those
tiny for
shorts.
everyone. Yeah. Arc Research has a question for both of you. Do you guys know Joe?
Tree knows a Joe.
No comment.
Joe
Comment.
Mama?
Oh,
What?
oh,
Sorry. I was trying to anticipate what Gavin was going to
oh,
say.
he was definitely going there.
100%. He was going for it.
He was definitely going there.
Yeah.
Which is why I specifically answered.
No.
Although to be fair, it's still workable with what I said, so I failed.
Definitely. All right. Matt says dragon, goblin.
This is getting a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit
not
out of hand.
comfortable in that
Yeah,
frame.
Matt, the joke is over. Gavin has made the joke. All right. So, any more questions? If not, I reckon it's time to wrap things up. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today, Chris and Cherie. It was great having our first episode with you. Very exciting things coming along, and it's been great having your support and your your support in creating Dodgeball Club, because I wouldn't have found like a community in uni without Dodgeball being here. Yeah. So thank you for doing so much for MUDA. And
Thanks.
now that you guys, oh, sorry. I was just like, now that you guys are transitioning into your professional lives as well, I'm sure like everyone who's in the club as well has been looking up to you and has learned a lot from you. Yeah, both of you.
I mean, you
Yeah.
have both given a lot to the club as well, so I mean, we have just as much to thank. And I mean, the reason why this stream doesn't look fully scuffed is because Regine is incredibly talented and hardworking, and I mean, Clyde is an OG, an old dog.
An old
Feels
guy.
like a
Aside
villain.
from the time that he
Old
ditched
guy,
me
feels like a
when it
villain.
came to going to Queensland, you know, Clyde is a big reason why we're here today too. If you want some fun pics, you can look back and find the picture of Clyde and Cyril when they were the events managers, both holding a ball like this. It was the best photo. But yeah, thank you both so much. And everyone in the chat.
definitely.
Yeah, there's lots of other people that we'd probably need to thank.
To our past
Mhm.
and future committees, thanks. And thank you for those who have joined us live today. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Please tune in for our next episode, which will be the rise of MUDA. So, give you a little bit more backstory on how MUDA became a club. But yeah, otherwise, thank you all for joining, and hopefully to see you guys soon and play dodgeball together.
Thanks for
See
having
you guys
us.
soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
bye
Bye.
everyone.
Thank
See you
you.
guys soon.
See ya.
Bye. All right.
All
We
right.
good?
Someone stop the stream.
Very nice, guys. Good job.